I do have you beat him.
I will whoop your ass.
Bro, I'll pop that gap right back in that mouth. I'll have you looking like a saber gap tooth tiger. Oh my God, I'll do you dirty. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
You suck.
Hey, if I have though, you though. Oh my, here we go.
I
Hey,
don't care.
not the same
You
fighter.
lost Cerrone.
Hey, not the same fighter. Not the same. Hey, when I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say? When I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say?
I was there.
Hey, no, when I put a beat on you. I'm talking about you. You got no power. You got no power.
And you lost. And you still scared him to this day.
No, you. Bro, I'm gonna knock that gap right back in your mouth. I'm gonna knock that gap into your mouth again. Hey, you fix the teeth. You fix the teeth, but I'm gonna knock that right back in. I'm gonna put bam. Yeah, let's do it. Hey. Like back in the day, right?
It's the biggest fight right here.
No, I thought you was bigger than this,
bro. You know I'm not big. Wait, why do you think I was big?
God, oh man. Wait, good luck.
You know, Shakur, somebody that I fought in the amateurs, and we went at it, you know, and I felt like I beat him. But, you know, the politics in the USA boxing at that time were a little different.
Shakur Stevenson didn't waste a second. Right after everything went down, he jumped into a live interview and delivered a sharp, no-nonsense warning directly to Ryan Garcia, making it clear he's not here for talk, excuses, or games, and that if Ryan steps into that lane, he's going to feel the pressure fast.
He's right there, Shakur Stevenson. Let's go. Let's run that. Hey, I want to be a great champion, and I'm not scared of. I fought Devin Haney. I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. I'll fight anybody. Let's go.
You know, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan. Shakur Stevenson was on our DAZN broadcast earlier. Said he's levels above you right now. What do you think of that?
The thing is, like, you got to have some type of punching power to get me off you, because it'll be a different style, and I'm not gonna hit him light. Nah. Every time I get, boom, I'm putting it on him, you know? I want that fight. Shakur, let's get it. I see you, hey, I like the hat. You look fly, but I want that work. Let's get it.
With a calm voice and razor-sharp focus, Shakur made it clear that if Ryan truly wants that fight next, it won't just be a boxing lesson. He believes Ryan gets broken down and stopped, and he's promising a brutal knockout, not a points win.
Shakur versus Ryan. I think he wiped the floor with him. You know, I don't think Ryan gonna be able to hit Shakur like Barrios. Barrios was right there to be hit. Barrios was too slow. Barrios didn't have no game plan. He followed them the whole fight. And Shakur is not gonna be that fighter to be hit on.
What makes it even more chilling is the way he delivered it, like a fighter who has already seen the ending in his mind and knows exactly how it plays out. No screaming, no wild antics, no forced hype, just cold control and quiet confidence, the kind of calm, calculated energy that feels far more dangerous than any loud trash talk ever could.
What can we expect from a fighter?
We're very fast. You're going to see people that are quick, back and forth. And Shakur knows that he can't get lazy with me at all. That's why, like, he was looking at me right now and goes, ooh, you're not even big. I'm like, bro, you were scared if I was big? That's crazy. Like, that's what you were scared of? All right. So I got a little glimpse on what he was kind of worried about. But size don't win fights at all. You seen that today. Mario was bigger than me, but I was quicker.
Right after beating Mario Barrios, Ryan didn't act like a guy who was finally satisfied. He looked wired, grabbed the mic with the adrenaline still pumping, and instantly called out Shakur, saying he wants to shatter that genius reputation and prove that raw speed can beat slick skills when the spotlight is at its hottest.
What happens in the Shakur fight? How does it end in your opinion? Decision, knockout?
We hit him with a body shot, he's done.
Why the body shot?
He can't take this body shot. We already know.
Really?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a better jab than my son. My son has an awesome jab. We beat him in the amateurs, okay, with the jab. When Ryan was young, Ryan was only 16 years old. But he qualified 17, 18 with Shakur. Shakur was on that level. So if you're within 2 years, they're gonna put you in that category. Okay, and I said, Ryan, we didn't know Shakur, they didn't know us. But I said, you know what, Ryan, let's work on that jab. Ryan was throwing that beautiful jab, pop, pop, pop. I said, okay, that's what we're gonna work on. Let's start off there.
The difference between them feels straight out of a movie. Shakur talks like a precise operator calmly forecasting the damage he's about to cause, while Ryan comes across like pure chaos, loud, intense, and hungry, calling for the toughest fight possible and daring anyone to stand in his way.
I'm open to all those, you know, whatever. You know, Shakur, somebody that I fought in the amateurs, and we went at it, you know, and I felt like I beat him. But, you know, the politics in the USA Boxing at the time were a little different. And I still got a chip on my shoulder. I've been wanting that rematch for a minute. Hopefully we get it. And, you know, when my hand heals, I'll be looking for that opportunity.
One is guaranteeing calculated, methodical damage, the other is promising fireworks and non-stop aggression. And if this showdown actually becomes reality, it won't just be another fight on the calendar, it'll be a full-blown clash of styles fueled by pride, elite skill, and intense mental warfare, where every move carries ego, pressure, and the hunger to prove who truly runs the division.
Oscar, apologies if you've already been asked about these two opponents, but what do you think a fight with Shakur Stevenson looks like? They talked about fighting each other next. What do you think that fight would look like?
I love the fight. I mean, look, there's so many options there for Ryan now. Everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to dethrone the pretty boy, you know. And now that he has a world title, everybody's after him. So yeah, I think it's a matter of just regrouping, let Ryan rest, and he'll make his decision.
Shakur's warning about what's coming next instantly got pushed to the side the moment Henry Garcia took the mic, because this wasn't a calm victory moment at all. It sounded like years of pressure finally spilling out, all the frustration, the criticism, the doubt, and the need to prove people wrong hitting at the same time. And when Henry shut down the VA rumor talk and called those stories made up, you could feel the switch flip into full protection mode, not just backing a fighter, but defending his son's name and credibility right there in real time.
Ryan's been doing testing his entire career. He's fought for interim titles. When he fought Tank Davis, we were doing VADA testing and it wasn't for a title. He's been testing his entire career. Every single time we set up a fight, we sign a contract, there's VADA testing. There's no such thing as dropping out of VADA testing. So all those stories are just fabricated, people trying to hate on Ryan, and they're just excuses for Haney to feel good about himself. You know, Haney wants to have an excuse as to why he got beat up, and that's it.
Then everything heats up fast when he starts snapping back at critics like Chris Algieri and others, and you can hear how personal it is in every word. This isn't clean PR, it isn't media friendly, it's pure father and trainer emotion spilling out, a mix of pride and a deep need to prove people wrong. And when he says, "They don't know my son, I know my son," that lands heavier than any technical breakdown, because that isn't boxing analysis anymore. It's about identity, respect, and protecting the person behind the fighter.
Just real quick, I want to go back to the haters, because I gotta let this off my chest, because I won't be able to sleep. But Chris Algieri, you're a piece of okay? I'm sorry. You and your corny ass partner, okay? Not believing in my son. Sergio Mora, I ran into him and he said, no, your son made me a believer, so I'm not gonna go too hard on him, okay? Robert Garcia, weird, man. Oh, my son can't go over 6 rounds? Sorry, dude. They don't know my son. I know my son, okay? And every father should know their son, like I do.
At the same time, Ryan's vibe is almost the opposite, more calm and reflective, thanking his team, talking about diet, discipline, conditioning, and admitting he used to just throw bombs without thinking, which basically backs up the new Ryan story they've been pushing all camp. On one side you've got emotional fireworks, on the other you've got controlled gratitude, and that contrast is wild. Henry is verbally going to war with the critics, while Ryan is focused on giving credit to the structure that rebuilt him, not just physically, but mentally too.
One thing, well, let me say something real quick. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions. I know people like to put us together as beef. I guess it sells, but, you know, I don't hold grudges, and I always want to keep positivity, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done in my career, and I appreciate it.
Ryan even slips in a quiet nod to Golden Boy right after all the tension, and that's the kind of smart, grown-up move that shows he's thinking beyond the moment. When a fighter is celebrating improvement and preparation instead of only bragging about the win, it says a lot, and with his father unloading years of built-up iveness and pride beside him, the whole post-fight scene feels layered and heavy, like this victory isn't a finish line at all but a loud personal message to everyone who doubted the work, the plan, and the comeback.
All right, let's go. Well, the answer to your question is, yeah, I know he did it for me, but I told him before, we had dinner last night, and I said, you know what, Ryan? I said, I appreciate that. I said, but you know what? You've already won for me.
That intense, proud father energy from Henry instantly switches to a whole different level when Joe Goosen takes the mic, because now the mood moves from emotional defense to calm, precise honesty, and watching that shift in real time is powerful. Goosen opens with a light joke about gummies, easing the tension, but the second he says that's exactly how Ryan fights, you can tell it's not shock and it's not excuses. It's seasoned understanding, a veteran coach accepting the fighter's true style. Without panic, just clarity and confidence.
What's your question?
What were your thoughts on Ryan's performance?
Look, that's exactly how Ryan fights. That's exactly how I knew he was going to fight. We tried to prepare for it as best we could. I think, aside from that knockdown in the first round and a few other shots Ryan landed, we blocked a lot of his shots. Ryan obviously outscored us.
It's basically a trainer calmly owning the reality they stepped into. He says they train for the speed, the footwork, the awkward angles, and still admits Ryan outscored them, and that honesty hits harder than any loud headline because it's straight truth, not emotional spin. Then he starts detailing the inside clinching, the movement, and the little positioning battles like he's replaying the whole fight in his head, and you can feel it's a clean technical breakdown delivered with respect. The kind of polite tone that still carries a serious message.
He's tricky. He's great on his feet. He'll tie you up on the inside because that's not his favorite place to be. And then he'll move around and walk you into some shots, and if you stall out on him, he'll come and get you. He's smart. He's smart. And he's fast. And he's fleet of foot. So he's got a lot going for him. He's champ of the world.
Shakur Stevenson didn't even let the moment breathe. He went live right away and, with a calm voice and sharp eyes, sent a cold warning to Ryan Garcia, basically saying if Ryan wants that fight next, it won't be an outboxing story. It ends with a brutal knockout, and the scary part is Shakur said it like a man who already saw the finish with zero theatrics. Meanwhile Ryan, fresh off beating Mario Barrios, grabbed the mic still buzzing and called out Shakur instantly, saying he wants to break. That genius aura and prove speed beats slickness when the lights are hottest, setting up a clash where one man promises precision and the other promises chaos. But then Henry Garcia takes over and the mood turns emotional, shutting down the VA rumor talk as fabricated and unloading years of frustration while firing back at critics like Chris Algieri. And when he says, "They don't know my son, I know my son," it hits like a statement of identity, not just boxing. At the same time Ryan stays calmer and more reflective, thanking the team, talking diet, discipline, and conditioning, admitting he used to swing without thinking, even giving a subtle nod to Golden Boy, which makes the win feel like a message to everyone who doubted the rebuild. And then Joe Goosen shifts everything again with calm, surgical honesty. He jokes to ease tension, admits they prepared for speed and tricky movement but Ryan still outscored them, highlights momentum moments like the early knockdown, touches on the size and weight drain reality at 147 without sounding like excuses, and delivers the coldest truth. You don't really train Ryan, you collaborate with him. He's instinct-driven and unpredictable, and even when Goosen admits he was needling Ryan mid-fight to get a reaction, he still gives full credit, calls him champ, praises the speed and ring IQ, respects Barrios' toughness, and leaves it all with composed realism that speaks louder than any post-fight rant.
Look, Ryan, I've known Ryan for many years, and I got to tell you, Mario Barrios is a fine young man. I love the kid. He's really a wonderful, classy human being, Mario Barrios, and so is Ryan. We're all friends. It's a small community, the boxing community. So I'm happy for Ryan, and I'm sad for Mario Barrios. He put a lot of work. Jonathan and I trained Mario, and we put in close to 3 months of a training camp with him. And it was serious, hard work. We were doing round after round of training. Now, I will tell you, and I don't make excuses for anybody, Mario, you saw how much bigger he is than Ryan. He had to make 147 pounds. I think it's going to be the last time he ever does.
Goosen's calm, almost professor-level honesty, saying Ryan basically does what he wants, instantly flips into a whole different cinematic gear the second Wade jumps in yelling domination, and it hits me that the respectful analysis from the losing corner and Wade's explosive breakdown are describing the exact same truth from two emotional angles crashing together. Wade's point that Ryan started like the whole world was watching is dead on because charging to the center wasn't just aggression. It was psychological ownership, like he clocked in early and never clocked out. And when he keeps stressing that jab to right hand sequence, it perfectly supports the narrative shift. This wasn't left hook merchant Ryan, this was upgraded, calculated violence with real setup and layers, and the moment Wade highlights that first right hand hurting Barrios right away, that's the quiet turning point nobody can spin, because momentum didn't slowly build here, it exploded, and it's telling how Wade still respects Barrios' toughness while calling it a wash, matching Goossen's earlier tone of acceptance without excuses.
Turns out, Mario Barrios, one tough SOB. He was not going to get knocked out in the first round, and come to find out he wasn't going to get knocked out at all, but that was a tone setter for the fight. And it was like, from that moment on, Ryan had almost zero issues with Barrios, and Barrios had no answers for anything Ryan was doing. And again, I told you, go back and watch my video. Yes, the left hook was prevalent and it landed in this fight and Ryan was devastating with it, but it would be the right hand. It would be the hand that everyone forgot that Ryan Garcia had. And one, to be fair, he hadn't shown had been as devastating as his lead hand for a very long time. That would be the difference maker.
Wade takes it even further by saying boxing needed this version of Ryan, and that's not just hype, it's industry psychology, because a violent, dominant, locked-in Ryan brings star power and unpredictability in the same body, and that sells stories in a way safe wins never will. But then he pivots to Shakur watching closely and the mood instantly shifts from celebration to danger, because now it's explosive speed and power versus surgical control, and Wade asking if this upgraded Ryan could shock Shakur again is a bold, risky, entertaining take, especially when he highlights the improved right hand and the fact Ryan held real intensity for all 12 rounds, quietly tearing down the old, mental issues, narrative piece by piece, yet the truth is still complicated. Dominating Barrios proves world level, but Shakur is a different kind of problem, not a durability test but a thinking test. And if this newly disciplined, violent Ryan shows up again with a working jab and that right hand behind it, then the next chapter isn't just big, it's dangerous.
Again, it was shocking to see Barrios dominated like that. Like, Barrios has been stopped, right? He's been beat, but there was no pillar to post beating that I've ever seen anyone put on Mario Barrios like Ryan Garcia did tonight. And again, the variety in the shots, upstairs, downstairs, the lead hook, he would frame with the jab, which is something I love when fighters do. He would 1-2-1 and frame with that lead hand. And then when Barrios got past the lead hand, bang, left hook, pivot out, right hand. It was like he had an answer for everything.
Now that matchup stops feeling like fantasy and starts looking like a real style collision the sport can't ignore. Because when you step back from all the noise, the Shakur warning, Henry's emotional speeches, Goossen's calm honesty, and Wade's loud domination breakdown, the real story isn't just that Ryan won, it's that the entire narrative changed in one night. One side spoke with surgeon-like confidence about levels and knockouts, and the other side answered with performance, discipline, and a Ryan who looked sharper, more measured, and way more dangerous than the chaotic version critics kept labeling, with a father defending legacy, a veteran trainer accepting reality without excuses, analysts shouting dominance, and a rival watching like a shark studying the tape, which isn't just a post-fight vibe, it's the launch of the next mega storyline. Because the conversation has now moved from, can Ryan stay focused, to, can this upgraded, violent, disciplined Ryan solve the most technical puzzle in boxing, and that's where it gets cinematic. Power versus precision, instinct versus control, chaos versus calculation, and if this trajectory keeps going, the Barrios fight won't be remembered as the ending, it'll be remembered as the ignition point for a much bigger collision at the elite level. So here's the simple but dangerous question. Does Ryan's explosive evolution crack Shakur's surgical defense, or does Shakur's IQ completely shut it down? Drop your take in the comments and let's really talk about it.
Make sure you like, subscribe to Fighters Arena Pro, and share this video with every real fight fan out there. Much love from Fighters Arena Pro.